Hi, it's Tom Similian from Switch.com, and we're here on location in Tokyo, Japan at CEATEC, the annual Japanese Consumer Electronics Show. One of the big things in Japan is mobile phones. They love their mobile phones in Japan, and one of the best things about this show is all the cool mobile phones that they have. So let's take a look. One of my favorite Japanese designers is Naoto Fukasawa. He's designed stuff for a watch for Issey Miyake. He did a very famous bulbous humidifier that's available in the States. Here in Japan, he does cell phones. He's got a brand new cell phone called the Prismoid, which is really cool because it's kind of a retro-futuristic kind of a deal. The design inspiration is the vision of the future from the 70s or the 80s, so basically what people in the 70s or 80s thought the future would look like. If you look at the phone, it looks kind of Star Wars inspired. Maybe it looks like a sort of made out of a stormtrooper's outfit or something, maybe something out of the movie Aliens or 2001. You can definitely tell that also from the font here and the whole look of the keypad. And another kind of tribute to the 80s is just there's an LED readout on the side that reads news headlines and telephone numbers and things like that. Kind of reminds me of that artist Jenny Holzer that was kind of big in the 80s. So this is the Prismoid phone by Naoto Fukasawa. Unfortunately, it's only coming out in Japan, but we can only hope that maybe someday Fukasawa will design a cell phone for the United States. Maybe the new iPhone? I don't know what this thing does, but it looked really cool. I want to put it on my wrist as soon as possible. It looks like it's got a little MP3 player. This is basically one of the prizes. Fujitsu threw a contest for designers to come up with really cool cell phone concepts for the future, and this is one of the winners. Again, a wrist phone, unlike any other I've seen. Eco-friendliness is a big trend, and nowhere is this a bigger trend than in Japan, which is very densely populated. With that in mind, NTT Docomo, a Japanese telecoms company, has come out with the Touchwood phone, which is actually made of wood. Now, why is wood a little more eco-friendly? Well, this is made out of cypress wood. They use wood from trees that have been cut down that was just going to be thrown away. Also, wood is not plastic, therefore when you throw these things away, they don't end up in some kind of a landfill and things like that. The phone itself is just really beautiful. As you can see, this is one of them which has a keyboard on it, and on the back it's got a nice hardwood case. The other one is more iPhone-like, kind of looks like a bean or something. It's got a weird sort of a shape, and again, a very cool color. Of course, these aren't coming out in the States, and honestly, with a name like Touchwood, I don't think they ever will. We all have LCD screens on our phones, but LCD screens use up a lot of energy, which wear out the batteries pretty quickly. But Sharp has a new solution to that. It's called the Memory LCD, and what it is a very low power consumption LCD that actually remembers what the image is. That way, basically, it barely uses any power. It's used for the sort of secondary screen on this phone. As you can see, it's kind of a black and white LCD, but that's because it uses very little power. And what's cool about it is that it allows you to really have all kinds of different apps showing on the other screen of your phone that don't use up a lot of energy, and they always stay on. So, you know, it's a way of having really cool information on your phone without having to use up a lot of energy. What I think is really cool about it is, you know, right now you see it on a cell phone, but you're going to see this kind of technology put on all kinds of things like laptops and, you know, other sorts of gadgets where you may want to change what's on the surface really easily without actually having to change, you know, the color laptop that you bought or, you know, change the engraving that you put on the laptop, things like that. Just a very cool low power way of changing content on the surfaces of gadgets. So there you have it, some of the cooler phones that we saw here at CEATEC this year. Unfortunately, most of them won't be coming out in the States, but hey, we can wish, right? For Switched, this is Tom Similian.